Right, so this is a relatively simple video to just point out the tentacles that Ripple has around the world and the influence of XRP that you may not have thought of before. And if you understand this, then you might understand why so many people are bullish about XRP and how the future is incredibly bright. If you already have the tokens, congratulations. If you're accumulating, congratulations, and I wish you the best. I am still accumulating on a daily basis. As you guys know, I buy every single day, and $2.28, man, that's an amazing price for what's to come, right? As you can see, the price of XRP actually isn't doing too badly. It's sort of outperforming the other altcoins in the top 100. Most of them anyway. There are some that are sort of sporadically outperforming XRP. But bigger picture, the last 7 days, it's been, back in green for XRP. But that's not the point of this video. I just wanted to point out, right, how far Ripple has gone in recruiting the planet into its payment system that obviously leverage XRP, right? So let's just give you the list of countries that are using XRP. These countries are the ones that are known either via Ripple themselves publishing it on their website, in an X post, in an announcement. There is no one list somewhere that tells us everything, but this is like a bare minimum, right? And it gives you an idea about the global reach of XRP. First of all, of course, we have the United States. So major institutions like the Bank of America and American Express have integrated RippleNet for cross-border payments. So they've integrated it, they're using it now, they're leveraging the fees, the speed, the efficiencies to make money. So even though they're still charging you the same amount, they are making a killing in the back from the profits that they've they're getting from doing it cheaply and charging you more money, right? The United Kingdom, where I reside, Standard Chartered Bank and Santander UK use Ripple for international transfers. I find this quite ironic because a couple of years ago, I had a problem with Santander Bank because of my crypto dealings, and it became a problem. And they eventually closed my account because of the, my, continued defiance. And, I stayed with crypto and they weren't happy about it, blah, blah, blah. Different story for a different day. But turns out they also use crypto. In fact, they've been leveraging the Ripple payment system to facilitate their own stuff in the back, right? Canada, Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce, CIBC, employs Ripple for faster remittances, okay? So they're seeing that people just sending crypto back home and using platforms that leverage crypto payments are basically stealing their lunch. Looks like this Canadian organization is seeing the writing on the wall. And I'm willing to bet that there are other companies in Canada doing the exact same thing, especially when they can see the benefits in terms of efficiencies and money is saved, which leads to profits in their own pockets, which is primarily what motivates these people. In Australia, we have National Australia Bank and FlashX leverage Ripple for payments, with Brazil Australia corridors noted in 2023 Expo. So, man, shout out to Brazil, man, which is the next one. As you can see, Brazil is has a lot of links with Portugal, with Australia, with the United Kingdom, with the United States. Lots of remittances going back and forth between Brazil and a lot of countries. Shout out to the Brazilians hustling around the world and sending money back home, and vice versa. Shout out to the people working in Brazil and sending money to their respective origins via remittances. Okay, so we have Brazil, Banco Rendimento, and others use XRP for transactions confirmed in Ripple's 2023 expansions. Okay, shout out to Brazil. And of course, we have Japan, probably one of the most bullish countries in the world when it comes to XRP. Shout out to them. SBI Remit and other consortium banks utilize XRP for remittances to Southeast Asia. Again, heavy on the remittances around the world, heavy on the cross-border payments, and the XRP ledger, Ripple payments, etc. It's absolutely dominating that stuff, right? And of course, SBI, their CEO sits on the board of Ripple, so I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised by that. And of course, SBI CEO has said that, in Japan, this is going to be the standard thing this year, that most banks in Japan would jump on this payment system if they haven't already started doing so. Okay, so shout out to Japan. The Philippines, Coins.ph and SBI Remit facilitate XRP-based payments for migrant workers. Vietnam, same thing. SBI Ripple Asia extends remittances services here from March 18th, 2025, ex-post. So again, most of Southeast Asia cornered by SBI and other Ripple payments systems. Indonesia, part of SBI Southeast Asia expansion with Ripple noted on X. Thailand, Siam Commercial Bank adopted Ripple in 2020 for payments in 12 countries. 2020, man, they've been at it for a while. Singapore, RippleNet members like in-state REM use it for regional payouts. Okay, so as you can see, a lot of these expansions are based on nodes. So Ripple would, get their tentacles in a node country like Japan, like Singapore, and then that expands to the regions, right? Which is very, this is the reason why they have these strategic partnerships, like in Brazil, in Dubai, which I'm sure the UAE is going to be next. As you can see, it's after India. Again, that is a crucial location, the UAE, because that's going to then expand to the neighboring, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Kuwait, etc., etc. Okay. India, banks like Axis Bank and Yes Bank have partnered with Ripple for remittances. India is a huge country and a major member of the BRICS, a founding member of the BRICS countries, so that's crucial. United Arab Emirates, this is a good one. It's going to expand Ripple massively in that region. So, Ripple's DFSA approval on March 13, 2025, very recent, enables payments via Al Fardan exchange and others. That is going to be huge. A lot of people work in Dubai and in the United Arab Emirates regions like Abu Dhabi, sending money back to Southeast Asia, to Africa, to Europe. So that is absolutely huge, right? I keep banging on about United Arab Emirates, but people don't realize that a massive economy there is, foreigners and immigrants, etc. So massive remittances market, okay? Saudi Arabia, Saudi British Bank, SAB, and PYYPL use Ripple for cross-border flows. Bahrain, PYPPL integrates Ripple payments for Gulf region transactions. Kuwait, same thing. Oman, the same thing, including, RippleNet powered. Qatar, same thing. All this oil money flowing through XRP ledger. South Africa, another founding member of BRICS. MFS Africa uses Ripple on-demand liquidity for regional payments. That's going to be huge for you guys when that stuff spreads around the world. ODL, that's going to be your XRP providing the liquidity, and you're going to be mining rewards from that. You can't see that. It's cut off at the bottom here. Nigeria, okay? Nigeria is listed in the 2023 Africa Blockchain Report as using XRP and RippleNet. So Nigeria using both the Ripple system, payment network, and XRP directly. Shout out to Nigeria. In number 21, we have Ghana, another African country, part of Ripple's Africa footprint via MFS Africa and ODL. Okay, so that's that on-demand liquidity in action again. Kenya is a major one because Kenya is actually a really experienced country when it comes to mobile payments and digital payments. They have been doing this longer than we were even doing it in the West. The thing about Africa is that a lot of the infrastructure wasn't as developed as you get in Europe and in North America. As such, they had developed their own systems of mobile payments. So mobile payments in Africa goes back decades, right? And everyone's been comfortable with it, while we were still kind of skeptical about it in the West because of all the traditional systems that we had, checkbooks and all these cards and credit cards and stuff. They were already marching on with mobile payments. If you're familiar with the M-Pesa system, That's one that has been leading the world in mobile payments for decades now. So Kenya, shout out to Kenya, included in Ripple's 13 African countries per the 2023 CVVC report. Egypt, noted in the Africa blockchain report for Ripple use. Benin, which is a small country right next to Nigeria. Shout out to Benin. Ripple's ODL presence confirmed in 2023. Shout out to Burkina Faso, an emerging powerhouse in the Sahel region of Africa. Very small country, very fierce and marching forward. And it's among the 13 countries that are using Ripple for per CVVC. Côte d'Ivoire is a little francophone African country in the West, and its Ripple adoption noted in 2023 report as well. Shout out to Mali, a very crucial country in Africa, massive history, part of the Ripple's Africa network per the same source. Niger, which is just to the north of Nigeria, included in Ripple's Africa expansion. Shout out to Senegal, Nangadef, all the people that are listening to this. Uses Ripple for payments per CVC 2023. Togo, another small West African country right next to Benin, sandwiched between I think Benin and Ghana. Used to be a German territory before the French took over it during the World War. Ripple's ODL active here per the report. Uganda, Pearl of Africa, beautiful country, most beautiful lakes you've ever seen in your life. I hope to visit there again one day. Ripple's presence confirmed in 2023 African data. Mexico, shout out to Mexico, man. Colex uses XRP for US-Mexico transfers since 2017. Massive country, lots of remittances, huge remittances country from the United States. So that's crucial. Spain, Santander's one-day FX leverages Ripple for EU-US payments. Shout out to Spain, most visited country by Brits in terms of holiday seasons. In fact, I'll be there very, very soon. Shout out to Spain. Switzerland, needs no introduction when it comes to finances. UBS joined RippleNet in 2018 for streamlined transactions. Shout out to Switzerland, man. Lots of money. Israel, Bank Leumi partners with Ripple via National Australia Bank. Hong Kong, another crucial country in the East, using XRP. Malaysia, one of the countries I'd most love to visit. I've never been there, but I have a lot of Malaysian friends. Shout out to you guys. CMB Bank has explored Ripple for cross-border payments. South Korea, shout out to South Korea, a crucial country in cryptocurrencies. Shout out to South Korea. You guys have made me a lot of money in the last decade or so. I love you so much. I hope your government improves. But yeah, Wuri Bank and Shinhan Bank, I can't pronounce that properly, unfortunately, have tested RippleNet. So not necessarily using it, but they have tested it and indicated some kind of interest. Chances are other banks are doing the same. But South Korea, along with Japan, also extremely bullish when it comes to XRP. In fact, the XRP trading volume in South Korea far surpasses trading volume of Bitcoin or Ethereum. It's the most traded, most bought crypto in South Korea. Shout out to South Korea. Shout out to XRP. Bangladesh Mutual Trust uses Ripple for remittances corridors. And of course, Sri Lanka Commercial Bank of Ceylon partnered with Ripple in 2018. So this is by no means an exhaustive list. This is just an example of 40 countries that are for sure are using XRP or using Ripple payments, or are working with Ripple Labs to develop something, or they've dabbled in it, they're experimenting. And even in these countries, I'm sure that there are other banks, other institutions that are also using the system, let alone the actual individual people who are maybe using Ripple for or XRP for remittances back home in these countries. Additional notes here. The scale of things. Ripple claims connections to 90 plus markets for last mile payouts on its website. All right, suggesting a broader reach than the 40 countries listed here. Some countries may use Ripple payments indirectly via regional hubs or fintechs like Tranglo, active in 25 countries, or Onafrique, expanding Africa corridors. So again, it might not be that they're using these things directly. It might just be indirectly. They might use it for the last mile. They might use it for the crucial bits where, they cross the border. So they have third party, cross the border with RippleNet, and then back to the third party again, or use it for the last mile delivery. Okay. In Africa, 2023 CVVC report highlighted 13 African nations, but Ripple's partnership with MFS Africa likely extends its influence further. Those specifics beyond the named countries are unconfirmed in the last 5 days. Okay. By the way, this list was compiled today, so to give you a frame of reference. Middle East and BRICS expos from 2024 to 2025 notes Ripple focus on BRICS Plus nations. So BRICS Plus is BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, plus like the other countries have now joined it as an organization. So the plus represents the countries that are not founding members. For example, the UAE and countries like Egypt, I believe, that have now sort of caucused with BRICS, even though they're not founding members. And Gulf states via PYYPL. I bet that's pronounced people, because that sounds like it should be pronounced people, and it's just sort of like a clever fintech way of writing things. Aligning with its March 13 UAE approval. Okay. Gaps include countries like Germany, France, or China that don't appear prominently, possibly due to regulatory hurdles or preference for domestic systems, e.g. SWIFT and CBDCs. Now, I don't ever see China using this system ever. They might indirectly start using it via BRICS or, by proxy from Hong Kong, for instance. But actually adopting it within China, that could be a bit of a problem. Germany and France will probably also indirectly use it. I mean, we have it here in the UK. I know we're no longer a member of the EU. Switzerland uses it. They're not in the EU. So it might be an EU thing, but it's only a matter of time. Stuff that we use here, and it's a Spanish bank that operates it here in the UK. We have Santander doing it also in Spain. We have Portugal using it. So Spain and Portugal are in the EU, so I don't see any EU regulatory blockage for that. So Germany and France are probably going to come on board once they realize or, sort out their regulations. So here are some of the sources where this list was compiled from. As you can see, shout out to the compilers. This has been illuminating. I hope this has been interesting for you, a little bit different from what you usually get about XRP and price and all this nonsense, just to realize that where we are. All of these countries, all of these organizations, all of these banks aren't going to suddenly then just give up XRP just because the bull market is over, because the price isn't going where you think it's going, or just because it was or was not included in some sort of strategic reserve somewhere. Okay, there's just more to this than meets the eye, which is why I dollar cost average little by little every day going forward until the glory days arrive when people are going to look back and they're going to call you lucky. No financial advice, you want to research. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.